All right, listen, I know it looks like there's a lot of slides. We haven't met for quite a while. We are going to go through this very quickly. I'm going to let the directors speak to their slides, but I do think it's important for us to just show some highlights of things that have happened over the last few months. So, or last few weeks since we met, several weeks since we met. Okay, this is the agenda we're going to follow. All right, and first I want to just do a quick shout out to Sandra Shepard and Hal Metzler. They just did a great job in attending a 1-year certified public managers course, over 300 hours at the University of Baltimore. They did their capstone project presentations and they are now certified public managers. Sandra focused on establishing its own nonprofit, which she'll be briefing out to us. We really think that might be helpful. And Hal talked about composting initiatives because we noticed a slowdown in the number of homes composting. So 2 really good capstone projects. Also want to congratulate Jay Joyner. He got his certification in leading workforce investigations at the SHRM conference. And he was also appointed to the MML 2026 conference planning committee. So congratulations to both of them. All right, so although we have not met, we have been busy. So I do want to just highlight some of the things that we have done. The council members have been engaging their residents. We've had several community meetings, and so I have them listed there. Ward 5, of course, we had an update. Ward 3, Gateway Community Meeting here at the building. Ward 2, we did the first walk and talk. We want to continue doing those walking through neighborhoods. Ward 4 and 5, we met with developers on Queens Chapel and Hamilton Street just to talk about some of the issues out there. Ward 4 has an upcoming pig roast, and Ward 1 had a check-in and cleanup. Mayor also was able to attend a birthday celebration. For those who don't know, the oldest living person in Maryland is a resident of Independence Square right here in Hyattsville. So we celebrated her 112th birthday celebration. All right, Hyattsville Elementary School, new construction, that's going on. Well, it's getting started. So we're pretty excited about that. Remember, that was the blueprint for schools. So the goal is to put some state-of-the-art schools in the city. And so this will be our second school. There is a groundbreaking ceremony on August 5th. Pre-construction, you'll start hearing from us. We are working directly with the developers, project managers, and we're going to try to keep the city informed and updated, but most importantly, we want to do it in a timely manner so that if there is a need for, there's going to be noise, if there's going to be road closures, we need to get that out to our community in advance. So we have been talking to the project management team just to make sure that we're able to do that. And I believe we have our school board representative and someone from Prince George's County Schools coming to next meeting to provide an update. All right, so DPW, hard at work. So just showing some of the things that they've been working on, a lot of roadway, sidewalk repairs, painting, teen center. For those who have driven by, the exterior is finally finished, as well as the parklet outside of the teen center. And again, stop signs and other great work that they're just doing all over. All right, new construction. Just wanted to give an update on what's going on with the teen center and the public safety building. Those dates slip a little bit, and so I'm going to let Hal talk to that, but a lot of that is just the permitting and the final inspections that need to be done before we can get a use and occupancy. Hal, if you're on, you or Leslie. Leslie, I'm not sure who you'd like to address these.
Thanks, Tracy. Hal, are you on?
Yes. Yep.
Great, go ahead.
I'll be happy to answer. So yes, we are working on wrapping up these 2 major construction projects. As Tracy said, we don't have an exact date for when we expect them to both be open, but we're getting there. The teen center, the construction is anticipated to wrap up this month on all the interior work. We do still have some exterior work to be completed. And then once all of this work is done, we will apply for our final use and occupancy permit. And we're expecting the building to be ready for community services to to occupy it and start using it sometime around October. And we'll continue to update everybody as we get we get more specific dates as some of these milestones get reached. Likewise, the public safety building at 3505 Hamilton Street is also nearing completion of construction. We probably have about another 6 to 8 weeks or so of construction. There's some work that needs to be done for the installation of the communications equipment in the building. And that's kind of the last major milestone to complete from a construction perspective. Once that is all done and we get our temporary use and occupancy permit, we'll start moving furniture, and we'll work with the police department on a date for them to actually move in and occupy the building. So that's why there's still a little bit of a range, but we're expecting it to be the end of this year for the police department to occupy them.
Okay, and we also had a CSX responder incident training. This was a good opportunity for our staff. You'll see that Reggie, Jim Bathurst, and the CERT leadership team attended the half-day session. They just talked about safety and effective strategies and responses for rail emergencies. So they found that to be very helpful and very educational. Chief attended an awards ceremony. Chief, I'm going to let you talk to these next 3 slides that are about the police department, if you're on.
Sure. Thank you, Tracy. So each police department recognizes usually 4 different officers from their agency each year. Officer of the Year, Investigator of the Year, Civilian of the Year, and Community Services Officer of the Year. So we have a committee each year that recognizes those officers and looks at all the great things that the officers and staff do throughout the year. And our committee identified our Officer of the Year as PFC Maynard Hernandez. Our Investigator of the Year is Corporal Matthew Cross. Our Dispatcher of the Year is Senior Dispatcher or Public Safety Aide 2, Victoria Petrus, as our Civilian of the Year. And then our Community Services Officer of the Year was Sergeant Jessica Williams. What makes this special is that each agency in the county then sends their nominees for their own agency to the Police Chiefs Association for Prince George's County, where all the candidates are evaluated against one another and looked at, the different accomplishments that they had throughout the year. And Sergeant Jessica Williams was recognized as the Community Services Officer of the Year amongst all the other agencies in the county as the Police Chiefs Association for Prince George's County's Community Officer of the Year. She does a lot of work on her own time. She's a patrol supervisor who oversees one of our shifts out there, working rotating shifts and nights, weekends, and holidays, and volunteers a lot of her personal time to the youth in the community, different community action team events, and most notably runs and oversees our DARE summer camp that we'll talk about in just a minute. And also, there it is. Thank you there. And this transitioning to DARE camp, this year was one of our best. We had 18 students sign up for DARE camp, and this is a great opportunity for kids to come when they're out of school in the summertime. They have different lessons on. It's not just about drug education anymore. Now it's a little bit more holistic, and it's talking about making great choices, whether about drugs and alcohol, just recognizing and managing their own emotions, standing up to peer pressure, setting their own goals, and building their confidence. This year we almost weren't able to have it because we're getting a little tight in the city building and we were running out of space. And our partners over at First United Methodist Church quickly volunteered to let us use space over there, so we were able to make that happen thanks to them. All right, and Build a Bike. So this is an awesome event that we get invited to every year, put on by Noble, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Officers, Washington Metro chapter. So our evidence tech, Rusty Scott, 2 of our new officers, Henry Canales and Michelle Vasquez, they're in training right now. And then Acting Lieutenant Evans and our fleet manager, Mr. Troy Bradley, went down and built bikes. They built several hundred bikes, but they were able to bring some bikes back to Hyattsville for the kids here in our own community. So that was a great event put on by Noble. All right, and then lastly, I just wanted to talk briefly about crime stats. I want to thank the community for their continued partnership and always reaching out and trusting in us and letting us know when there's things going on that allow us to work together through community policing to reduce crime. Overall crime for 2025 year to date. While I do not like to take credit for this, I think this is a partnership and a big result of the community's input. But overall, violent crime is down nearly 35% year to date. But with that being said, we always like to try to build upon the relationships that we have with our business owners and our residents. And we're asking that both business owners and residents register their cameras. This is a great starting point for our officers and detectives when something happens. And if we know about your cameras and we have a point of contact on file, we can expedite the process of trying to find that video footage to try to get a jump on the investigation. This does require a City Protect account. If you go on the Hyattsville Police Department page or go to the City of Hyattsville page and click on Police and then click on Crime Reports on the left-hand side, it'll take you to this page here. And you just click where that red arrow is showing where it says Register Cameras. You can create an account. You just need an email address to sign up. And we will not have access to your cameras. This will just let us know that there are cameras at a specific location and who we can contact if we need to see that video if it's helpful to an investigation.
Thanks, Chief.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, and then I'm going to move to community services. While we were talking earlier, Sandra was able to pull up some information and the most recent stats. So she's going to start with that, and then we're happy to have Summer Gems back. Sandra, I'm just going to turn this over to you. If she's not there, I'll just keep talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted and I was talking. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. My apologies. So yes, for the tutoring program, we serve a total of 82 students and provided 101 tutoring sessions. But I will be sending the report so you can see the pre and post test and the academic improvement of those programs. So I hope everyone is enjoying your summer. And as summer is, we have summer jams. They are back. In June, we kicked off by celebrating Pride Month. And in July, which we celebrated last Friday, the backyard barbecue, which was a hit and the rain did not stop us. Our next summer jam will be celebrating the International Heritage on September 19 at Hyatt Park. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys. Next.
Okay, and before I move on, I do want to say that the numbers that Sandra just presented are a little bit different than when we did the end of the year stats, because you remember we do that presentation a little bit earlier before the school year ends. And since that time, I think we also have a waiting list of kids who are interested. Is that correct, Sandra?
Yes, we had around 100 kids who were waiting to be part of the program. That is a very popular program because it really gives hands one-on-one tutoring and the mentoring part, and is provided 3 days out of the week throughout the year, and also support the students throughout the summer twice per week during the summertime.
A little bit lower numbers in the summer, but we still have kids participating.
Correct.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Sandra.
So the Office of Strategic Partnership and Community Solutions with the Department of Social Service came to the city to present the annual impact report and highlighted how the city resources have supported Nicholas Orem and Hyattsville Middle School and other PGCPS schools in the northern area. The food distribution provided support by providing fresh products to over 200 students and families. This team has provided us support by sending volunteering staff to support us doing the food distributions, and also assist us with case management referrals that they provide human services. Next. We got lucky to get invited to celebrate the students at Hyattsville Elementary School who were experiencing chronic autism. They were recognized for their hard work and improving their attendance. So kudos to the elementary school students for working hard and attending school more consistently. In summer, our summer program, our campers who are in kindergarten and fifth grade are having an amazing time with a lot of fun, learning and exploring. They have attended several field trips, including the Aerospace Museum and Logo Discovery Center. So they're learning and having fun a lot this summer. Next slide. During the All About Sports, our campers were able to participate in a soccer clinic where they learn different soccer skills and play a friendly match against each other. Next. For our education program, a program that serves middle and high school students, they have been attending the mental health art exploration program where they are learning how to navigate stress and explore social emotional skills. They also have participated in different field trips. They attended the indoor rock climbing and escape room activity. Our intergenerational program, our youth and seniors have attended different field trips. They attended the Mary Surratt House and also attended the College Park Aviation Museum. They love learning about history together. The new Youth Advisory Council members attended their annual overnight retreat. This is the third time that they're doing this. They had an opportunity to bond, learn about teamwork, leadership, and critical thinking. And thank you to our chef Segura, who cooked them a nice meal that night for them to have. We are still collecting items for the back to school events. So we are going to be collecting school supplies till August 15. If you want to provide a donation, you can drop the donations at the city building, or more easy, you can scan the QR code and you can see the Amazon wish list and you can send your donations that way as well.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. All right, just going to go through quickly through the weekly offerings. Just a reminder that we do seated exercise classes for older adults on Wednesdays at 10 and free Zumba fitness classes on Monday and Wednesdays at 4. And then we have some committee meetings coming up before we meet again. The next meeting is coming up on August 4th. So there'll be another meeting in about 2 weeks. So and we'll do any committee meetings after that time as well. But between now and then, we've got the audit committee. It's meeting on July 22nd. That committee just started meeting in June. So they have, I think this will be the third time they'll meet. So they're meeting. They're trying to get ahead of it and just working with Ron Brooks, who was the liaison. Race and Equity Task Force is meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Health, Wellness, Recreation Advisory on Thursday, the 24th at 7. Age Friendly Work Group Friday, the 25th at 11. And Educational Advisory Committee meeting is on Monday, the 28th. And some of the upcoming events: residential parking zone hearing. That's on the Wednesday, the 23rd. Narcan training in Spanish. That's going to be on Wednesday, the 23rd as well. That's going to be at St. Matthew's Church. And then the Care Partner Support Group is on Friday, the 25th, right here at the City Building. That is gaining popularity for caregivers. And then Bulk Waste Pop-Up is on Saturday, the 26th. And I believe that is my last slide, other than just reminding everyone of the elementary school groundbreaking on August 5th. At 9:30 a.m. I'm going to stop share, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you for that very thorough slide presentation. Council colleagues, I will turn it over to you. I did want to say thank you for the also for the amount of work that has gone into these 6 weeks. Jokes aside about the slides, we appreciate that while we take a moment to pause, that staff keeps the engine running in the city of Hyattsville. And so thank you for that work. Additionally, I know that there's been just a tremendous amount of raining and flooding that's happened over the last few weeks, and the number of calls that I know that DPW and other police department have received in regards to that. Just thank you for staying on top of that as well.
Thank
That
you very
being-
much.
I'll go to Councilwoman Straub.
Hi, yes. I just wondered if we had an update on the opening to the entrance of Driscoll Park and when we expect that work to be completed.
Yeah, that's been unfortunate because every time we start painting, then we get a rain, so it keeps stopping. But I think we have good news. Leslie?
Certainly. Thank you, Councilmember Straub. We had to keep it closed because we couldn't complete the repaint of it. We should be done this week and it'll reopen either late this week or early next week.
Councilwoman Wasek? Council Vice President Wasek.
Thank you. I was just wondering about the status of two projects that we have going on right now. One of them is the spot, because after Trolley Trail Day, I got a bunch of questions about, when is it going to be fenced off and when will the project start? So I wanted to ask that one of Director Riddle, and then I have another question after that one.
Certainly. Thank you, Councilmember Wazak. So we are waiting with bated breath for DPI to give us our permit. We have scheduled a meeting with them next week so that we can expedite this. It's stuck in some stormwater regulations that we feel we can overcome. So hopefully we'll get that moving. Our contractors are ready to go. We're just literally waiting on DPI.
Okay, thanks for the update.
Sure.
And then my other question is for Chief Towers, I think, or possibly for Chief Towers and Director Riddle, because we were asked some questions about when the security cameras will finally go up. And I know people have been, asking a lot of questions about safety and security recently because of some incidents that have happened in town. And so people were wondering if those security cameras were up, would our response time have been faster, or would things have been easier on our police? So I just wanted to ask that question.
Sure. I think absolutely our response times will be faster when we have the technology that we've invested in once it's fully deployed. As far as the camera systems, we have the two different systems. We have the CCTV and then the LPR. The LPR system is 24 cameras. Once it's fully deployed, we have 7 cameras that are up and operational at this point. We're just trying to get our policy in place and our staff trained on using it. The system's going up much faster than we had anticipated. The CCTV camera system, there are, I believe, 4 cameras that have come up online. We've run into some issues as it relates to permitting. We've met with DPW and found some workarounds, and it looks like we are working on locations where we're going to be putting up our own poles rather than trying to use Pepco poles where there's some issues there. Leslie, I don't know if you want to comment on that as it relates to putting up our own poles and the process, the time frame.
No, that's exactly it. It's a hard workaround for it's a workaround basically to get us by using Pepco's poles. I think that's the best way forward.
And if I can add, I met with the Pepco representative. We have a new representative in Pepco last week, actually, on Friday. And I will say that the staff was very creative. I appreciate Leslie Howe and Chief. They were very creative in getting Pepco to at least give us a pilot program. And we said, okay, since you don't have the regulations and policies for us putting cameras on your poles, can we pilot this and be the first out of the gate? And you see how it works, and then you write the regulations based on that. And at the time they said yes. They went through all their approvals and came back and said no go. When I spoke with the new representative, she said the same thing, and she said other cities are just putting up their own poles because Pepco will not give you approval to use them. So it's very unfortunate that we thought we had an inroad, and we no longer do. But she was very adamant about that nothing can hang on their poles and pull from their poles.
Okay, sorry to hear about that, but thanks for the workaround of putting up our own poles. Any idea how long that takes for us to do that? Like, I don't really know what's involved in it.
Depending on location and how they need to be installed, anywhere from just a couple months to 3 or 4 months, and how many poles we have to actually install.
Okay, thank you for your work on this.
Councilwoman Lee.
Hello, good evening. My question is for Director Riddle. I have a question regarding the Portland Loo installation. I know at Herrick Park, the throne was taken away, and I know on the agenda we have updates about 2 thrones, but we still don't have a restroom over at that park. So just checking on the
So-
status.
Yeah, absolutely. The thrones are held up with WSSC, unfortunately, and part of it is that particularly at Hyrick Park, there's a really kind of convoluted connection to the sewer that has to happen. And unfortunately, when you ask a large organization like WSSC to think slightly outside the box, it becomes more problematic. So I know Hal may have additional information on that. The one at Hyatt Park should be going in probably closer to the end of summer. Hal?
Yes, no, Leslie is correct. The Hyrick Park location, the nearest sewer is about 300 to 400 feet away. So we've been trying to be creative with them to make that connection without kind of breaking the bank on connection costs. And as Leslie said, the Hyrick Park location is completing the process for WSSC, and we're looking forward to starting the installation for that.
Mhm. I guess my question is because when we talked about this prior to them being removed, it seemed like they were going to be put in right away, but that park has gone the whole summer without restrooms. And that's a very busy park because we have the dog park, we have the children's park, we have a garden. And so, it was a seemed like it was supposed to be installed right away. So why didn't we keep the throne until we were able to really get that in place, or closer to getting in place? Did it have to be removed in order to work the other process?
So quite honestly, I think, we were hopeful that that would get pushed through. I've asked Tracey to have a conversation with their new director to see if we can push this through or expedite this more quickly. Certainly we can move the throne from its one location to there, and basically with the throne, it was the additional thrones, it was just financial, to tell you the complete truth.
Okay, and then my other question regarding Herrick Park is the signage was, I guess someone ran into it or something, but I know that's an MNC PPC situation for that signage for the park.
It's a signage at the playground?
It was a sign at the end of Herrick Park that said Herrick Park, but it's the wooden sign, but it was damaged and then someone took it away. I didn't know if you were all aware and if you know anything.
Yeah, I can reach out to MNCCPC, Councilmember Lee.
Okay, thank you. And then my other thing was for the administrator's announcement. You have August 6th as the War for Community Day, but that's August 16th. Just want to clarify that. Saturday, August 16th.
That was wishful thinking. I'm out of town on the 16th, so I'll miss it, and it sounds like a lot of fun. So, okay, yes, thank you for correcting that.
No problem. Thank you.
Councilmember Haba.
Thank you. Thank you for all the updates. I'm gonna try to make these short. Staying on Herrick Park, I think, and forgive me, Director Riddle and Mr. Mesler, if I'm gonna sound a little bit grumpy here. We have heard over and over that the connection was an issue at Herrick Park, and that we're trying to figure out a way forward. I'm hearing the same thing again. I just want to say, what do we need to do? If the workaround is not working, it's taking years to do it, what do we need to do? What is the requirement? What is the ask? So that we can have a functioning bathroom facility at that location. As Councilmember Lee pointed out, we have the playground, we have the community garden, we have the dog park. This is a place that is widely used, let alone we do host summer jam over there as well. what do we need to do to make that happen?
I think we need some political influence to WSSC because we're not getting, Hal or I are not getting anywhere. Neither is our professional services. So I do know they have a governmental liaison, which I would look to the council or to Tracey to speak with them.
And what is the cost that we're trying to avoid? Is it a cost issue? Because I heard something about, trying to.
No, I don't believe at this juncture it's a cost issue. It's just literally getting WSSC, like I spoke about DPI in the spot. We try our hardest to have these organizations move as quickly as possible. And once it gets in a loop and it's something, the same thing happened with the rain gardens on Wells Boulevard. You have something that is different than what they're used to permitting and they can't seem to get by it. And I'm not trying to throw WSSC or DPI or the evaluation process under the bus, but it certainly, it's like with the spot, we're ready to go and they're not.
So we had a conversation about this earlier, and I'll make the first I'll make the first contact, and then I will come back to our the XCOM, the mayor or the XCOM, and ask that they, if I can't get anywhere, ask that they intervene. We do recognize that this has been way too long.
Thank you.
Actually, what I'm gonna ask is, can we just set up a meeting with, reach out and set up a meeting with the Ward 4 council members and XCOM?
Yes.
Because I think that there are some, there are a couple, there's the bike, facility that they want to have there, bike share station, the bathroom, and then there's no trail connectivity from Hyattsville Park to the actual trail system. You have to go all the way in the back and everything. But there are things to talk about that we can have a full conversation with MNCPP about with Hyattsville Park. So let's just set up a conversation so that we can all be at the table and have that discussion.
And the other question that I wanted to ask, we have been going over the West Hyattsville Road Improvement Project. I know we did do some work, but there were a few more left. I wanted to know, where are we on those? Jamestown, 31st Avenue. I see that there is a segment of Nicholson that is about to get repaved. But going back to Jamestown and 31st Avenue, I know we had conversation about those dealing with the stormwater management piece. So what is the update and what is the timeline for that?
I think Taylor's off, but I'll let Hal take that. Hal.
Yes, so the last time I spoke with Taylor, I believe we were finalizing the plan and the schedule to bring that to the public for a public meeting. I believe it's been, I don't know if it's been scheduled yet, but I believe we're looking to schedule it for maybe the fall. I know with a lot of the petitions and some of the other traffic items that had more of a fixed deadline, Taylor had to concentrate on those. We'll now be getting back to Jamestown as a lot of those petition projects are, kind of coming to the end and freeing up time. So Jamestown Road has been being worked with our consultant and should hopefully be ready to come to the public soon.
Really hoping that this time we'll be able to dedicate that attention that it deserves, because you both know that we have been talking about this over and over, and it sounds like I get the same answers. We are close, but then we go here, nothing happened. But I'm hopeful that this time I'm gonna be bothering a little bit. Thank you.
We'll add this to the list of the things that we're going to talk about with Ward 4, so we can bring you a better timeline on when some of this will be either started or finished.
And I'm actually, I would say we might want to consider going a step further, because the last discussion I remember on this item is we had a public presentation that had a color-coded list of target dates for each section. So we divide them into sections, color-coded each section, told everybody when we were supposed to address their section. And if there's been a change in that proposed timeline, then I think that we should probably want to schedule either an update, you know, a meeting where we publicly do the same thing, go over and say, hey, here's where we were, here's where we're gonna be, this is why. And continue, like Leslie said, I think, you know, getting out there and just having that conversation with the neighborhood, with whatever section is going to be immediately impacted around those changes, I think is appropriate. But I think the overall timeline discussion probably needs to be rehashed out again.
Yes, absolutely.
Anything else from council? All right, it looks like up next we have